have someone special with us this morning. It's my pleasure for me to introduce our first speaker today. Our speaker is Her Majesty, the Queen's High Sheriff of Greater Manchester, Mrs. Diane Hawkins. Diane was born in Sale, then a part of Cheshire. She's married to Stephen, who's present with us, so thank you so much for coming as well. And they celebrated their ruby wedding during the lockdown last year. They have 2 sons, Jonathan, married to Sarah, and Timothy, their first grandchild. Jesse was born in May this year, to add to the excitement of the jubilee year. Educated at Worthington's Girls' School with the benefit of a direct grant from Cheshire County Council, Diane is now alumni governor of the school. Admitted as a solicitor in 1982, Diane was in practice with Whittles, based in Manchester, by covering much of the north of England, acting for trade unions. She specialized in litigation on behalf of those suffering from asbestos-related diseases. She retired as managing partner and head of occupational disease litigation in 2002. Sworn in as a Justice of Peace on the Bolton bench in June 2005, and in 2014 she was elected to sit solely in a family court, one of the first justices in the country to do so. Until the end of March, she was a deputy chair of GM Family Panel. In 2007, Diane became a trustee of Fortilus, the Bolton Women's Refuge and Outreach Support Center, and in 2011 she became chairman. As a Queen's Guide, Diane volunteered with the local club, Cub Pack, before university, and then for many years was a Cub leader at her church. Since then, she has had various roles in Scouting, and in 2014, she was appointed chairman of Bolton Scout Trust. BST owns and runs Baby's Farm Scout Campsite and Activity Center. She's currently a trustee of the Manchester Guardian Society Charitable Trust and a member of the Duchy of Lancashire's Benevolent Fund Panel. This year, she also sits on the Greater Manchester High Sheriff's Police Trust. She's also a long-standing member of the Association of Speakers Club and has served as a national executive, has been a lay member of the Church of England Provincial Disciplinary Panel for many years. Diane was commissioned as a Deputy Lieutenant of Greater Manchester in 2008 and is deeply honored to have been appointed by Her Majesty the Queen as the High Sheriff of Greater Manchester. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Her Majesty the High Sheriff of Greater Manchester, Mrs. Diane Hawkins.
Thank you very much indeed, Bernie. Well, unique, wonderfully made woman is unique, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here today to help you celebrate your first 10 years, and I hope it's the first of a lot more years. So, I'm really proud to be here as the High Sheriff of Greater Manchester, and I'm very pleased that the Lord Lieutenant asked me to represent him as well, because he really wanted to be able to come but was unable to do so, and he sent his very best wishes and his congratulations to you all for everything that you have done. You really have had 10 years of exceptional achievement, and you've made great strides from the awards you received over the years for your hard work. And of course, as many of you know, the most recent and most significant award was the Queen's Award for Voluntary Service, which is a fantastic achievement. This is equivalent to the MBE for volunteers, so please don't underestimate how significant it is. It really is wonderful that you've been recognised in this way, and you should be very and rightfully proud of that achievement. I just wanted to share a little bit actually from the citation that was written for that award. I don't know if this is going to explain it to any better than Aenor did last night on ITV, and I hope you all saw it. I caught up with it on Twitter this morning, but it was wonderful and it was great the way you explained everything. But this is part of what the citation said. Founded by women of African heritage who had experienced domestic abuse, they understand that the biggest barrier to seeking help is confidence. Yet this is missing from all other support. Therefore, they rebuild confidence enabling women to seek help from the group and others to change their lives and those of their children. Uniquely, they offer their support to anyone who needs it at any time and for as long as required. The volunteers shared many stories of responding to distress calls at 3 in the morning and of attending hospitals and police stations. So in these really challenging times, this charity and all its volunteers have been the backbone of the local community. During the pandemic, there were demands upon all of us, but particularly for these services provided by you as wonderfully made women. It was new territory for all of us. Lots of women had lost their routine and their structure, and there was a lot of confusion and anxiety about the ongoing changes. And Wonderfully Made Woman rose to that challenge and helped women to come to terms with the changes and process them and make sense of new ways of living. And they worked very hard to keep the beneficiaries motivated and reassure them during a period of great uncertainty. And so since that pandemic started, they've helped a lot of women over a great spectrum, and they've needed to translate government guidelines into pidgin English. They've had to explain government guidelines and help beneficiaries to understand them. They've started the first African food bank in Manchester to provide culturally appropriate food to those in need. And they've identified and reached out to vulnerable women and girls who've fallen through the cracks, and they offer support. And there really is no finer example of democracy in action than seeing a local community all come together to tackle a problem at their heart. And Wonderfully Made Woman has made a huge difference. And the need for your services is really significant, and it's growing. Greater Manchester has the 5th highest rate of domestic abuse in England and Wales. And a lot of the women that you're helping live in the bottom 5% of deprived areas. And as I think you've heard, I do know something about this because I chair Fort Alice, which runs a refuge for women and children and an outreach support centre in Bolton, serving the whole of our community in Bolton and also into neighbouring areas. So I do recognise a lot of what you're doing and have great empathy with everything that you're setting out to do. And all your volunteers have experienced or witnessed abuse themselves. And as experts by experience, you understand the issues and challenges faced by women who come to you for support. And because of that empathy and that lived experience, you know how to successfully change the lives of women. And you've helped over 500 women. I'm probably counting, it's probably already more than that. It's a huge achievement. And you've achieved it by building confidence, reducing social isolation, improving well-being, and developing skills that enable women to leave abusive situations, enter education, gain employment, and change their lives and those of their children for the better. And despite all of that, which is quite heavy, some of it, you're also joyful. It's so lovely to be here, to see so many smiling faces. Nobody who meets you can fail to be inspired and uplifted by your resilience and your passion for helping others. So congratulations to all of you. Your achievements have been stunning, and you should rightly be very proud of all that you do, that you have done, and that you're going to carry on doing. And thank you to the funders. Without you, this work simply wouldn't be possible. And I really hope that you will be able to continue your financial support over the coming years to allow this group to carry on with this excellent work for the second decade. Thank you too to the inspirational volunteers, and there are many of you here. The t-shirts are a giveaway, but I know there are lots of other people as well. Without you, without your dedication, your time and your expertise, we wouldn't be where we are today. You are invaluable, and you really cannot be thanked enough. And last but most definitely not least, thank you to the founder. without whom none of us would be here today to celebrate this achievement, Einor. Your courage, your determination, your example, your commitment and your enthusiasm are a total inspiration. Thank you for everything that you are, and the man sitting beside you. Husbands tend to get forgotten and overlooked, but you're very important to everything that we do. So as we all today celebrate this milestone of 10 years, I want to congratulate all the women who are part of this organisation. Looking into the future, I'm really confident that Wonderfully Made Woman will be here for years to come and will continue to be an inspiration to the women and girls of Greater Manchester. Thank you.